Scientists are warning that the Mississippi Delta may be starting to collapse. Land is sinking, waters are rising, and the future of the southern coast could be at risk.
Flood-weary farmers in the Mississippi Delta say they feel like they've been forgotten. Many say they won't be able to farm their land this year, and they want to send a message to lawmakers and the president. Finish the pumps.
They told us the Mississippi River would never stop flowing. But what if that flow is now tearing America apart from beneath the surface? In 2025, scientists uncovered data so shocking that NASA and NOAA rushed to issue emergency statements. The Mississippi Delta, one of Earth's most iconic landscapes, is collapsing in real time. Satellites are detecting massive subsidence zones, invisible sinkholes, and strange thermal signatures that defy standard models. Entire towns are literally sinking, not over centuries, but within years. Beneath the wetlands, oil extraction caverns and fractured bedrock are forming a deadly web. And some researchers whisper of government data that was buried for decades, because the truth would trigger chaos. Imagine the ground under your feet dissolving like sugar in water. Imagine New Orleans slowly swallowed not by floodwater, but by the earth itself. This isn't speculation anymore. It's happening now, and the clock is ticking faster than anyone expected. Chapter 1: Sinking Earth Mystery. The Mississippi Delta, the beating heart of America's South, is vanishing. Every satellite image tells the same chilling story. Land that once thrived with life is now drowning, sinking, collapsing. Scientists from Louisiana State University and NASA confirm it's losing up to a football field of land every 90 minutes. Why? Because for decades, we've caged the river that built the delta, cutting it off from the very sediment it needs to survive. Dams, levees and canals starved it of the mud and minerals that kept it alive. But that's only half the truth. New deep Earth radar scans have revealed something darker. Massive voids forming beneath the delta, carved by decades of oil and gas drilling. These hollow chambers are collapsing under their own pressure, dragging the surface down with them. Imagine an underground Swiss cheese of crumbling rock stretching for miles. Scientists are calling it a slow-motion implosion. But here's the question haunting every researcher. How deep does this collapse really go? Could there be ancient fault lines, or even unreported seismic triggers waiting to snap? The data doesn't lie. The delta is cracking apart, and something colossal may be waking beneath it.
But the collapse isn't uniform. It's spreading in patterns, almost like veins of rot under a dying tree. NASA's Terra satellite revealed a lattice of microfractures stretching across more than 10,000 square kilometers, each fracture subtly altering the flow of groundwater and sediment. These fissures aren't random. They trace along forgotten fault lines, scars left by ancient earthquakes that predate human civilization. What if those old fractures are waking up again? Reactivated by the immense weight of modern infrastructure, pressing down on soft, waterlogged clay. Researchers from the US Geological Survey now warn that this is not just erosion. It's a process known as mechanical subsidence, where the land's own internal structure collapses as trapped fluids and gases escape. Every time an oil well pumps, every time a pipeline vibrates, the delta exhales a little more of its foundation. Sensors show microtremors pulsing beneath the wetlands, tremors too weak to be felt, but powerful enough to shift millions of tons of soil. And then there's the water itself. Rising sea levels don't just flood the surface, they infiltrate the ground, turning the once stable clay into liquid sludge. Scientists call it soil liquefaction, and it's the nightmare scenario, a landscape that looks solid until one day it isn't.
Picture the earth giving way underfoot, like quicksand swallowing roads, forests, and even entire towns. In 2025, a team of geophysicists described the Mississippi Delta as a geological ticking clock. The combination of human engineering, sediment starvation, and hidden seismic pressure could culminate in what they call a catastrophic structural inversion, the moment the delta flips from land building to land erasing forever. Could this be the first warning of a continental scale collapse, or simply nature reclaiming what we stole? Either way, the clock is running, and it's louder than ever.
Chapter 2.
The river's betrayal. The Mississippi River, the titan that carved America itself, has turned against its own creation. For thousands of years it built the delta grain by grain, spreading rich sediment like veins of gold. But in 2025, scientists finally confirmed the unthinkable. The river is no longer building land, it's destroying it. New AI-driven satellite models from NASA and NOAA revealed a catastrophic imbalance. 70% of the sediment that should be reaching the Gulf never arrives. It's trapped behind upstream dams, redirected through artificial canals, or lost to industrial dredging. The very systems built to control the river have become instruments of its decay. Every barrier, every levee, every pipeline has transformed the once living delta into a withering corpse. Think about that. The same river that created life across half a continent is now starving its own heart. It's like a mother slowly poisoning her child, unaware until it's too late. And the warning signs have been flashing for decades. Sediment surveys show a decline so steep that some coastal scientists say the delta has less than 3 decades left before irreversible collapse. But the data hides a darker twist. NASA's 2025 satellite readings detected strange thermal anomalies beneath the delta's surface, hotspots where the ground is heating without volcanic cause. These anomalies align perfectly with regions of collapsing sediment and methane leaks. Scientists believe vast methane pockets are being released as the land sinks, forming invisible plumes that warp the air above. Methane, a greenhouse gas over 80 times more potent than CO2, could turn the delta's collapse into a climate accelerant, feeding global warming itself. And yet, that's not the whole truth. In early 2025, leaked government memos exposed a chilling possibility. Officials knew the delta was collapsing years ago and said nothing. According to one NOAA insider, early warnings were classified to avoid panic and protect corporate interests. Offshore oil fields, petrochemical ports, even military installations along.
Could it be that the greatest natural disaster in US history is unfolding in silence, hidden beneath polished reports and censored data? Are we witnessing the slow burial of not just land, but truth itself? And then there's the human toll. Fishermen watch their livelihoods vanish as marshes turn to open sea. Families abandon ancestral homes built on ground that's now nothing more than mud and memory. The river is reclaiming its freedom, rewriting the map of the South, one drowned town at a time. Experts now warn that if the sediment starvation continues, New Orleans could become an island by 2050. Its protective wetlands, nature's shield against hurricanes, are disappearing faster than they can regenerate. The next Category 5 storm might not just flood the city, it could erase it. The Mississippi River has betrayed its creation, but in truth, it was our betrayal first. We tried to cage the wildest river on Earth, and now the cage is collapsing. In the next chapter, we'll expose the hidden data leak of 2025, the one that revealed secrets about the Delta no one was ever supposed to see. Chapter 3. The 2025 data leak. It began with a flash drive. Anonymous, encrypted, and sent to 3 journalists under the title Project Delta. What they found inside would shake the scientific world to its core. In March 2025, a massive internal breach at NOAA exposed over 400 classified terrain scans, revealing something America was never supposed to see. Beneath the calm surface of the Mississippi Delta, the land was already failing. Not in theory, not in projection, but in real time. The map showed whole sections of southern Louisiana already under infiltration by seawater, years before the official government data acknowledged it. And there was more. Buried among the files was a set of thermal imaging records showing strange heat blooms rising from deep beneath the sediment. Not volcanic, not geothermal, but mechanical. One internal memo used the phrase subsurface ignition zones. That phrase alone sent geologists into panic. What could possibly be heating the Earth under the delta? Was it methane combustion from collapsing gas pockets? Chemical chain reactions from decomposing organic matter? Or something else? Something man-made? Scientists at MIT and Caltech later analyzed the leaked data and confirmed the worst. There are enormous methane reservoirs trapped under the delta's crust, compressed by layers of unstable rock. As the ground collapses, that gas escapes, heating and expanding, causing secondary implosions, a vicious feedback loop. In simple terms, the delta isn't just sinking, it's boiling from below. But when independent experts demanded answers, something strange happened. Websites hosting the data leak vanished overnight. NOAA's public statement dismissed the documents as outdated simulations, even though their metadata showed timestamps from February 2025. Within days, social media accounts discussing the leak were shadow banned or deleted. The story was buried faster than the delta itself. Still, the damage was done. The truth was out. Anonymous scientists speaking under code names began to talk. One researcher described unexplainable magnetic fluctuations detected near the deep sediment layers, readings that interfered with drone equipment. Another mentioned echo anomalies, sounds bouncing through the earth that didn't behave like ordinary seismic waves. Could it be that the delta's collapse is being accelerated by forces beyond simple geology, a chain reaction triggered by decades of human interference, or something entirely unknown? Some call it paranoia, others call it a warning. In late 2025, a classified follow-up report was leaked to several environmental think tanks. Its conclusion was stark. The Mississippi Delta is approaching irreversible destabilization. Projected collapse zone, 208 miles across. Timeline, within 25 years. That's not a headline, that's a countdown. And here's the part that terrified scientists most. Those same instability patterns are now appearing in deltas across the world. The Nile, the Mekong, the Amazon, like a global pulse of collapsing land. But let's come back to the Mississippi, because the leaked documents revealed one final secret. A network of buried anomalies. Perfectly circular formations deep beneath the riverbed, reflecting sonar like metallic domes. Officially, they're natural salt domes. Unofficially, no one can explain their geometry. Was the delta always destined to collapse? Or did something trigger it? Something we unleashed without understanding. The 2025 data leak didn't just expose files. It cracked open the planet's hidden memory. Because once you've seen the evidence, one question lingers in your mind. What else are they hiding beneath the river?
Chapter 4. Countdown to collapse. By late 2025, simulations from the University of Southampton and NASA's JPL delivered the unthinkable. A full delta destabilization event within 25 years. That means cities like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and countless smaller communities could face forced evacuation before 2050. But the scariest part? The Mississippi Delta isn't unique. Scientists now believe 25 other major deltas worldwide, including the Nile, Ganges, and Mekong, show identical stress patterns. This isn't just local erosion, it's a global warning. Researchers are testing wild solutions, artificial sediment pumps, floating barrier reefs, even microbial soil reinforcement using engineered bacteria. Yet no one knows if it will be enough. The delta has become the planet's mirror, showing what happens when humanity outsmarts nature for too long. Beneath the scientific data lies something hauntingly poetic, a civilization literally sinking under the weight of its own ambition. So here's the question: are we witnessing the end of the Mississippi Delta, or the beginning of humanity's reckoning with nature itself? If this shook you, like, comment and share this video so the world can see what's coming. Because if the delta falls, the rest of the planet might follow. Chapter 5: Vanishing Coastline. It's no longer a theory. The coastline of Louisiana is disappearing before our eyes. Satellite images from late 2025 show the Gulf of Mexico creeping inland like a predator in slow motion. Entire islands that existed last decade are now nothing but ghost outlines beneath shallow waves. Scientists from NOAA and the USGS confirms that sea levels here are rising nearly twice as fast as the global average. Why? Because the delta isn't just sinking, it's folding, like wet paper collapsing on itself. But here's the twist no one saw coming. New sonar scans have revealed something moving beneath the coastline. Slow, rhythmic pulses deep in the earth. Could these be signs of subterranean shifts? Or, as one anonymous source from the US Army Corps of Engineers suggested, remnants of massive gas caverns collapsing under extreme pressure? The Mississippi Delta may not just be eroding, it could be imploding. And if that's true, we're not talking about centuries of change, we're talking about years. The vanishing coastline isn't just a warning for Louisiana, it's a symbol, a glimpse into what the world's coastlines might look like within our lifetime, if the same chain reaction unfolds across other river deltas. Chapter 6: The Ghost Cities. Imagine waking up to find your town slowly disappearing underwater. That's not a dystopian movie, it's the daily reality for communities scattered across southern Louisiana. Ghostly neighborhoods now stand half-sunken in brackish marshland, where the waterline creeps up every year like a rising scar. Roads buckle, graves collapse, and scientists warn that by 2040, entire parishes could vanish from the map. The human cost is staggering. Thousands are already climate refugees within their own state. Insurance companies have quietly pulled out. Local governments are fighting an impossible battle, building levees that the river itself laughs at. But here's the eerie part. As people flee, new data centers and experimental research facilities are popping up in the most unstable zones. Why? Are corporations testing geoengineering solutions? Or protecting something we don't know about? A leaked report from a private energy consortium mentions deep terrain stabilization experiments, attempts to inject polymers and pressure gases into collapsing land pockets. If these fail, the consequences could be catastrophic. Chain reactive collapses that could ripple across the delta like dominoes. Could it be that we're creating ghost cities? Not just from nature's wrath, but from our own desperation to play God. Chapter 7: Secrets Beneath the River. For centuries, the Mississippi has been a symbol of life, commerce, and power. But what if it's also guarding secrets, buried deep beneath its muddy veins? In 2025, sonar imaging drones detected massive voids and metallic anomalies below sections of the lower river basin. Some are circular, some geometric, and some emitting strange electromagnetic readings. Officially, they're dismissed as natural formations, but whistleblowers inside NOAA claim otherwise. One leaked file, codenamed Delta Echo, refers to subterranean structures of unknown origin, discovered during a 2023 sediment mapping project. Theories range from Cold War bunkers to ancient geologic formations shaped by lost civilizations. Far-fetched? Maybe. But if true, these hidden chambers could be influencing the collapse,
changing how the river channels pressure and sediment. Meanwhile, methane spikes are rising in the same regions, gas so potent it could accelerate warming 80 times faster than CO2. Some scientists warn this could trigger a methane feedback loop, accelerating both local collapse and global climate chaos. Could the secrets beneath the Mississippi be more than man-made? Something primordial waking up after centuries of silence. Chapter 8. Race against nature. In the midst of chaos, the race has begun. Across research labs and military facilities, engineers are testing extreme survival technologies. Sediment cannons, floating biodomes, even artificial coral-like structures designed to anchor the sinking delta. The US government has quietly launched Project Rebirth, a joint NASA-NOAA experiment to redirect river flow through AI-controlled channels. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. The idea is bold. Teach the river to rebuild itself. AI models predict new distributaries could restore some of the delta's lost stability, but others warn it's a dangerous gamble. One wrong flow, and entire regions could be cut off, transforming Louisiana into an archipelago of isolated islands. Meanwhile, environmental activists claim the project hides another purpose: testing geoengineering weapons that could manipulate weather and control sediment dynamics on a global scale. Is humanity fighting to save nature or to dominate it once again? The clock is ticking, and in this race against nature, there may be no second chances. Chapter 9. Global Domino Effect. By mid-2025, scientists started noticing something horrifying. Deltas around the world were beginning to mirror the Mississippi's collapse. The Mekong, the Nile, the Ganges, the Amazon, each one showing the same symptoms: land loss, subsidence, sediment starvation, and gas release. The Mississippi was no isolated event. It was the first domino. NASA climate models predict that within 50 years, nearly 300 million people could be displaced as global deltas vanish. These are the cradles of civilization, where humanity was born, and they're dying. Nations are panicking. Some are building seawalls the size of skyscrapers. Others are quietly buying inland land, preparing for the migrations to come. But the scariest revelation? Data leaks suggest a planetary synchronization, a strange pattern of collapse events occurring almost simultaneously, triggered by subtle shifts in Earth's rotation and magnetic field. What if what's happening to the Mississippi isn't just environmental, but planetary? Scientists can't explain it. Not yet. But they all agree on one thing. We've crossed a threshold. The Earth is changing faster than humans can adapt. Chapter 10. The Final Warning. This is it. The point of no return. The Mississippi Delta, once called the American Eden, is becoming the first casualty of Earth's unraveling systems. The evidence is undeniable. Satellites, seismic data, atmospheric readings, all screaming the same truth. The Delta is collapsing, and humanity is next if we don't act. The scientists who raised the alarm in 2025 weren't just warning about Louisiana, they were warning about us. Our hubris, our obsession with control, our blindness to the warnings nature has been shouting for decades. And now the water is rising, the land is cracking, and the silence is deafening. But here's the hope. Buried beneath the fear, the collapse isn't just an ending, it's a reckoning, a chance to reset, to rebuild a relationship with the planet before it's too late. So as you watch this, wherever you are, remember this. The Mississippi is not just a river, it's a mirror. What you see collapsing there is the reflection of our future. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and share this message, because when the Delta falls, the world will follow.